I had a conversation with a preacher. I'm gonna go preach for him in Utah. He's a really interesting guy. He actually went to Hiles for 1 year and got out and said, "I just can't do it." I'm gonna have
Yeah.
him on and let him tell his story because he's got some wild stories. Um, I floated the idea to him. I said, "Do you think that a bunch of independent Baptists are busy defending a philosophy of ministry and a heritage and a legacy of a movement rather than defending Bible doctrine and preaching Bible doctrine?" And
Hmm.
he said, "Yeah, I think that's what they're doing." What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's exactly what they're doing. But I think part of it is, I think some of that comes down to, if I agree with that whole idea that this philosophy is flawed and everything else, then everything that I've been doing for my entire ministry up to this point is shallow and empty. And, how do I account for the last 25 years of my ministry
Mm.
if everything that I've been doing is based on a wrong philosophy or based on a wrong idea? Right. So I think a lot of it is embarrassment. To admit that philosophy is wrong is to admit that you've been wrong for all of those years, and you've built an entire ministry on that philosophy. Now what?
Mm.
So it's exactly like what you're saying. It's being choked out, and it's a last gasp for breath, but they're like, you know they're trying to do everything they can do to stay alive, because the embarrassment aspect of it is, I've been taken, and I can't be that big of a fool.
Yeah.
And if this whole thing is wrong, then is everything that I've done wrong? Because this is my philosophy of ministry.
Mm.
I think that's part of it. I mean, I don't see how you can say that it's not part of it. But I do think it's based on a personality. It's just why I say that 25 years after this guy's dead, and I'm not trying to, you know, be disrespectful to Jack Hiles, but at the same time, 25 years after he's gone, and you still can't criticize his philosophy of ministry. You still can't criticize the things that he did that were wrong. When clearly, if you just step back and look at it, you can tell that it is. I mean,
Mm.
you know, I
Yeah.
think it's 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 a pride issue, which is what it's always been,
Mm.
because you start talking through the numbers and all of these other
Mm.
things. I mean, that's why they. I mean, what else would motivate you to want to have so many conversions,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
you can publish it. Tell everybody
Well,
that that's what you had, you
I'll tell
know?
you this. I've spoken about Billy Graham not extensively, but I've talked about him a lot on this channel. And
Mhm.
evangelicals' go-to line is, "You're just jealous, and he got more people saved than you ever would. How dare you even suggest anything
Yeah,
was wrong with him?"
yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah,
but the case against Billy Graham is a slam dunk. I mean, the man
right.
went on the Crystal Cathedral towards the end of his life and said people who don't even know who Jesus is are a part of the family of God. God's grace is much. I mean, just damnable heresy stuff,
Right,
way
right.
outside the bounds. And then he's. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that Billy Graham did, but you can't criticize him because he got people saved. I
Yeah,
think they're
yeah, yeah.
playing the same game with Jack Hiles. I mean, no doubt, I believe people got saved at First Baptist Hammond. I know people who went to Hiles Anderson who are wonderful people who love God, and so do you. These are
Right.
not hellish demons, that all need to
Right.
be, ostracized. I mean, I have Hiles Anderson graduates that support me who love my ministry and saw the film and agreed with the film.
Yeah.
But it's this mentality that I had one man, I won't tell you his name, but he was there. The sound clips I played in the film, he was sitting in the audience hearing all that. He said that the big joke amongst the student body at Hiles Anderson College was soul winning covers a multitude of sins.
Mhm.
Meaning that if you got people down the aisle and if you got people, 50 people saved every weekend, they would turn their head at some of the other stupid, sinful things that you did. And
Yeah.
I think on a small level they did that, and then at the big level they do that too with Billy Graham and with Jack Hiles. If you got people saved, then that's like the atonement for your heresies and for your immoralities. It's not it's it That's not how God works.
Yeah.